right, we're recording in it. Oh, great. Of course, as soon as I do that, I'll start fucking burping. As soon as I start to talk. Okay. No, show what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
About to delete a recording track. No, I can just edit it. Because I can put this through Audacity and edit it out.
Yeah.
All right. Shit, I thought you had the interest. I never worked one out in my head.
We are live with Two Guys in a Wrestling Podcast in our studio that's not paid for by us.
Yeah, actually, this is in parts unknown, Lexington, Kentucky. I guess would be the best way to put it. As you heard, you are listening to Two Guys in a Wrestling.
Oh, dude, you fast forwarded.
No. What the hell?
I know, right? It sounds like, dude, where's my car?
Yeah, kind of. As you can see, this is the most professional wrestling podcast you will ever listen to in your life. I am Joel Walling. With me is
Michael Keaton.
There. Oh, and well, as you know, today is the first inaugural and original and
all kinds of stuff
call it
that we don't even know what to say right now. We're just rambling at this point.
Yeah, like I said, this was one that we were.
Just think of us as SmackDown Live.
Yes. No, I think more of Impact. We're more Impact right now. SmackDown Live's actually gotten pretty good, so we're more Impact right now.
We're more MLW. Sorry, no, Jim. We love you.
I wouldn't go that bad. But basically what you're looking at here is... well,
what you're listening to, not looking at, because they can't see us live right now.
Yeah, that's true. They can't see us live. But what you're basically hearing is...
we are superstars.
A catastrophe of epic proportions. Simply due to the fact that, first off, I'm recording this on an Apple device, and the only Apple device I've ever used is an iPhone 5. So I have no clue what
I used an iPhone 7 once.
Also, you're hearing an attempt at me, if anyone has ever listened to any of the other podcasts on my network, an attempt at me to filter my language because I am in a place that I should not be using profanity, and I'm going to try.
Yeah, it says absolutely no profanity, and if we
this
do,
room is not soundproof.
And if we do cuss, we will be kicked out and off the air
before we even get started. So. Basically, the whole premise of the show is whatever we happen to think of at the time we're doing it. It's as simply to put it as that. We are going to talk about wrestling.
Pretty much.
Now,
from A to Z, we're going to cover it all. AEW all the way down to Major League Wrestling.
You know, I am an old school fan. I've been a fan for 20-plus years.
Okay, Jim Cornette, we get it.
Yeah. And I actually walked away from it. I got so fed up with this current crap that I stopped watching it. I mean, I was thinking, ooh, neat, the WWE Network. And I got so fed up with all that crap.
See, that's where we're different. I grew up in the Attitude Era. I grew up during the height of wrestling. I still sparingly watch it, like highlights. That's about it. I don't watch the full shows anymore.
You don't watch the full shows anymore, yet you had me watch AEW.
I watched that show because that show is actually pretty decent. At least the actual show was, not the buy-in. The buy-in was just crap. I mean, come on, Lieutenant Dan line. I mean, that was perfect.
Okay, well, before we get into that, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to do our, predictions for the coming up WWE pay-per-view
Stomping
Grounds.
Which was supposed to be Backlash.
But I got to wonder, how are they picking names now? I mean, we've got Stomping Grounds and Great Balls of Fire.
I think they put a bunch of names of shows in a hat and just pick one out.
I was figuring they just hit somebody in the head until they gave them brain damage, and then whatever they rambled out. That's what
Vince Russo's booking. That's the problem here.
Oh God! So we're going to do this, and I will. Mike, you go on.
This
look
is
over
actually,
it, and you can be Nostradamus first.
This is actually in no particular order, so you don't know exactly the card order here. But right now, as it says on Wikipedia, fans do that. Right now, match 1 is Bayley versus Alexa Bliss for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to have to go with Bayley winning this one.
Yeah, probably, since they're doing the whole, what is it they call them, wild card.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Bayley winning this one for the simple fact that Nikki Cross, I think, is going to interfere to help Alexa. It's going to backfire. Yeah,
and I don't see. I think they'll probably keep it on Bayley for a little bit longer. Into one of the major pay-per-views. I don't think she'll lose it in a...
No, because I think the next one coming up that's major as part of the Big Four, I think, is SummerSlam.
Slam, yeah.
And then match 2, don't know why they're doing this. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre rematch from WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, like Roman Reigns is going to lose that.
You know he's not. He's big, he's Samoan. Vince loves big sweaty guys.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I don't understand because Lacey did lose that Money in the Bank to Becky Lynch. Why did she have a rematch for the Raw Women's Championship at Stomping Ground?
Well, was she a champ? Was she the champion?
No.
No?
Becky was the incumbent champion at the time, and she beat Lacey at Money in the Bank.
Okay, so it was just a regular victory, so yeah, she should have been counted out, but...
Yeah, but apparently they like her. I don't know. And then you have Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin. Why are they pushing Baron Corbin so hard? Like, what's the point?
Honestly, I haven't been able to see. I mean, I kind of liked when he first came in with the lone wolf character.
Yeah.
I thought that wasn't bad, but then their head up their ass booking.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Has basically lost it down from there. So I mean, it's no secret that Seth Rollins is going to get.
Here's the thing. Here's the wrinkle in this. It's a special guest referee between Rollins and Corbin for the Universal Championship, and if I'm a betting man, I'm betting the house on this. That special referee is going to be Brock Lesnar.
No. Lesnar won't be the referee.
It's either going to be Lesnar or Heyman. One of those two.
Maybe, but not Lesnar. I could honestly see Heyman.
And the reason why I said Lesnar is because of the simple fact he continues that paranoia for Seth.
Exactly. And I thought that. And I thought that, they've been hinting at it being Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens. And I could see either one of them working well with it and then bringing in, like... Well, actually, they kind of did the, what was it? They had Sami Zayn doing the special outside referee.
Yeah, but
and I would think something like that with Brock, or not Brock Lesnar.
Like an outside they're not going to put Brock in a referee capacity.
No, they will not use Brock in a referee or any form of capacity. But now Heyman, they would. And to tease is Brock coming out? He could even like when he comes down, he could be bringing the Money in the Bank.
Exactly.
Because then
is Brock in the building?
Yeah, is Brock in the building? Is Brock going to come out to this? What's he going to do that's going to make, what happened?
All right. Next match is Kofi Kingston defending the championship against Dolph Ziggler. What do you think of this one?
I never liked Dolph Ziggler.
And it's inside of a steel cage, considering what happened in Saudi Arabia with Xavier Woods interfering in the match, helping Kofi win.
Honestly,
that's the storyline. Okay. That's the storyline, at least.
I've always kind of liked Kofi Kingston, even when he was Jamaican. But
when did he drop the accent? By the way,
he just did one day.
I'm done.
Yeah, he was coming out like, "Ooh, trouble in paradise, man," and all this. The next thing, he's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
He just quit that crap.
Yeah, I'm done.
But like I said, I've never been a fan of Dolph Ziggler. I mean, the guy is a good worker. His character as a heel, he can get under your skin.
He reminds me a lot of a younger version of Shawn Michaels. The way he sells and the way that he can, the way he's an egotistical jerk.
Yeah, like for his character, he's great. It's just for some reason, most of the time, his matches bore the crap out of me. Honestly,
after a while, seeing the same sell job over and over and over again.
Now, when him and The Miz went for the Intercontinental.
It was Intercontinental on SmackDown.
What, 2 years ago?
Couple years ago, yeah.
That was
a good rivalry.
That was a feud of the year. It was great. I love that.
And then the next one, you have Samoa Joe going up against the one and only Ricochet from Paducah, Kentucky, by the way.
Well, if Ricochet doesn't hurt him, Samoa Joe's going to kill him. I mean,
they need to for real they need to make Samoa Joe at least a monster heel at some point. They have to.
Yeah. Which they did kind of for a while, but then they kind of backed off of it.
Because here's the thing: whenever he was in NXT, man, he was dominant. He was a dominant force in NXT. I mean, becoming the first two-time NXT champion, I think. If memory
serves, either him or Nakamura.
One of those two became the first two-time NXT champion. But now that he's on the main roster, I mean, they stuck him with the U.S. Championship. Yeah, it gives him a little bit of a run, but at the same time, it's like, where do you go from here? You
got to think of when you're thinking about Samoa Joe, think about what had made him Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, think about his undefeated streak in TNA, his undefeated streak in Ring of Honor.
Lasted over a year.
And the fact the fans actually used to chant, "Joe is going to kill you."
Yeah, but now with it being AWE and it's a publicly traded company, they're not going to...
No, I'm not saying that. But he was that monster.
Oh, definitely.
Whenever anyone did anything, it was, Samoa Joe was someone to be feared.
Oh, yeah.
And they started that really good with when he was having his feud with Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, definitely.
That was actually really good. I remember, I think it was great. Was it Great Balls of Fire?
It was Great Balls of Fire where they met.
when Joe started out, before the damn bell even rang, and he, like, put him through a table, and he had him in, I mean, it was just like, holy crap, this guy just came out there and just destroyed Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And Brock barely got the win, whirled out of the ring. They could have continued that feud for a good 6 months, and it would have been great.
But again, it goes back to the WWE in, like, who's in charge or whatever, and, like, they give a bit of a push, and then they retract.
Yeah.
Look at Cesaro. I mean, he could be... He could be a great mid-card champion, but here's the problem. They gave him a little bit of a push with the Andre Battle Royal, and then they backed off.
And then they had
and then they stuck him in a tag team.
Which, the Bar actually was a decent tag team. I thought that worked out pretty well.
And, yeah, look at what happened to them. You got the New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I don't know when they became a tag team again, but apparently they did.
Yep.
What do you think of that one? Of course, you're going to have the New Day going over because they're New Day.
It's New Day. And
honestly, I mean, they sell more merch than John Cena.
And honestly, it's another one it's just like, okay.
And Tony Nese is going to face a person to be determined, probably on 205 Live tonight, for the Cruiserweight Championship.
I never watched 205 Live. I thought it was kind of goofy.
At first it was cool with the tournament.
The Cruiserweight tournament was actually really good.
But and they tried to get back to that when Drake Maverick took over, a.k.a. Rockstar Spud. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them that it's fizzled on me.
Since we don't know who Tony Nese is actually facing, I'm going to go with Tony winning.
Unless it is one of these things like either returning former champion.
It could be Brian Kendrick.
Or a...
is Brian Kendrick even part of the roster anymore?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Could be Tajiri.
Yeah, but I mean, if
that'd be funny if it was Tajiri.
If it was Tajiri, then it's definitely Nese going over.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like, or if something like Rey Mysterio decided to go to...
And I mean, come on. Look at the poster. You got Roman Reigns on the poster. You know he's going over Drew McIntyre.
What the hell has happened to wrestling when the main event and the main people aren't the freaking champions anymore?
Pretty much. I mean, like at Super Showdown, the order of that card boggled my mind. You have the Universal title going on first. Just like at WrestleMania, it went on first. What's the point of this? Like, does that championship not matter?
Well, that's exactly what it says. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's not an important title. That's what used to be. Well, back in my day, we used to have. You started off as a tag team champion.
Yeah.
Then you went to one of the mid-card single titles.
Yeah.
And then if that kept going, then you went into the world heavyweight or the heavyweight title.
And supposedly one of the rumored matches for Stomping Ground is going to be Balor Boy versus Andrade for the IC championship. And that belt, honestly, ever since it came back, it's not been the same championship.
No. And yeah, that's all I can say about it.
I mean, the Intercontinental belt back whenever I was a kid was like the championship to hold because it was a springboard.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's a springboard. It was it was you started at that and then you went to the next one, and that's like I said, it was the way the setup always was the same. You had tag teams. People were just made as tag teams, and they just stayed as tag teams, as like the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, the Road Warriors. Those guys, as great as the Road Warriors were as a tag team, as great as the Rock and Roll and Midnight Express were as tag teams, they did not work as singles.
No,
even with Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton is one of the greatest.
They did to an extent.
Technical.
I think one of the Rock and Roll went against Flair for the NWA title
at
a Great American Bash.
Bobby, they wanted Bobby Eaton to do it too for the Midnight Express.
They did that on TV, but it never caught on.
They were never. Well, that was actually a lot with the Midnight Express was Jim Herd.
Oh yeah, because Jim Herd hated him.
Yeah, he hated him. So, it's not a surprise that they kind of got held back. But it was just that was the way.
If you listen to Jim Cornette, he hated everybody.
Oh yeah.
He just didn't understand wrestling. He was a freaking pizza guy.
That was the beginning of the end for.
Well, let's just face facts. WCW was mismanaged from the beginning.
For about 15 years or so, yeah.
They really didn't turn a profit until, I'm sorry to say it, but Eric Bischoff came in and changed a lot of stuff.
Well, see, he got lightning in a bottle, but the problem of it was
he gave creative control. That's what killed it.
Well, yeah, he gave the creative control. That's part of what killed it. And then the fact that he was making guaranteed contracts where the people could sell their ass and not do anything.
Here's the thing. Vince at that time was a handshake deal, and he offered opportunity. He was guaranteeing guys like $150 a night. So he offered that. But at the same time, it was an opportunity.
Yeah.
And like,
well, no,
Bischoff wasn't offering that. Bischoff was offering guaranteed money because he couldn't cover merchandise sales. He couldn't cover pay-per-view. He couldn't do none of that because it was non-existent.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. His idea of his problem was that when he gave these guaranteed money, he didn't give any stipulations. Like right now, the WWE does do guaranteed contracts.
But who was the Trailblazers?
But it's a sliding scale.
Yeah.
If you make X amount of appearances, you make this much money. If you make this many appearances, you make that much money. If you wrestle for a title, you make this money. You win the title.
Yeah.
That wasn't the fact with WCW. The fact with WCW was, I'm going to give you $1.5 million.
Right. Yeah, pretty much. And you don't have to show up.
Yeah, it didn't matter if you showed up. It didn't matter if you wrestled. It didn't matter if you talked. It didn't matter if you had a title. It didn't matter if you didn't have a title.
And like if you were on Thunder, that was the kiss of death because, I hurt my knee on Monday. You got to pay me though.
That's why the main guys stopped showing up because
towards the end, it got to the point that why are we even here at this point?
Oh yeah.
And then Shane comes walking in the door.
Well, let's talk about another "why are we even here" moment. Let's talk about AEW.
What do you want to talk about, the buy-in or the actual show?
I'm going to try to talk about the buy-in, and the reason I say I'm going to try to talk about the buy-in
is because it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Okay. Now the AEW buy-in was a hour-long.
It was an hour-long thing. Yeah.
Long thing like
on YouTube. On YouTube.
Yeah, it was free on YouTube, and basically it was saying, "Hey, this is what we're doing. Come buy the pay-per-view."
Yeah.
Which has been done in professional wrestling since before there was hair, It's been done for years.
Basically.
Or back when I had hair. One of the two, whichever way you want to do it.
Right. That was a long time ago, like back in Stone Age, right?
So we're looking at this as, this is the best I have to offer you. And one of the things that they did in it was a 21-man battle royal. Now, first off...
Hold up, would it be 19 and a half?
Well, no, it would technically be 21 and a half because remember the guy I'm going to get to later. He was in it too. So,
and if you don't know what we're talking about, you got to watch it.
Yeah. There were some high points. But first off, like I said, let's talk about their casino battle royale. Royale, yeah. So, first off is, instead of having everyone come out one at a time, in this fledgling promotion that's
just started,
literally had its first event. This was the first match.
This was the first. This was the first show under the AEW umbrella. You don't count All In technically as his first show.
No, that's what I was saying. You can't count that because AEW didn't exist at the time.
Exactly.
So this is literally the show saying this is us, and you have a.
Okay, I have a question though. I'm just rambling here. How did that guy get to the ring? Like, did he
Okay, I guess we need to explain this one. So,
because I never even saw him get to the ring.
Well, no one saw him get to the ring or leave the ring. But there was a man, and God bless him. It was great.
Come on. I kind of get where they were coming from because he had a dream and he followed it.
Yeah, he is
no matter what.
He is a double amputee from the knee down due to a spinal condition when he was a child, and he wanted to be a professional wrestler, and he got his shot. He was on TV on this big pay-per-view for this new company.
He got
a 21-man battle royal.
He got the pay. He got the pay. He got the pay, brother.
Which actually will bring us to a high point of the match, which was Marcus Jacob Freeman.
Yeah, that's what it is.
MJF. He was one of the greatest heels I've seen in quite some time. I mean, give him some time to hone his character in better.
He reminds me of
Miz.
Miz.
More skills. I like him better than the Miz.
He's got the ability, but Miz and him, can you imagine the promo wars?
Yeah, now that's
going to be amazing.
Yeah, that would be great. But when he looks at this guy, And okay, so they start off with 5 men in the ring. The way they're doing this is that everyone draws a card, and they match them up 5 and 5 by these suits.
Yeah, basically, like hearts, diamonds, clubs, whatever.
So the first group is in. There's 5 men. I don't remember half of them. I don't remember that one guy's name.
Because they didn't
MJF.
They didn't explain it. And like you have the dude on commentary that's like a golf announcer.
Oh yeah, we should maybe do the podcast like him. This is how he was announcing in a professional wrestling match.
Pretty much.
Oh, and we almost had an elimination there. And it's like,
and like MJF. God bless him, dude. He got over.
Now, I got to give Excalibur credit. Excalibur was, he was going at a full blast.
Yeah, but like, here's my thing, dude. Excalibur just needs to drop the mask.
Yeah, he's got to drop the mask. He's got to be a normal guy, or at least explain like
what the point of the mask is.
If this was Rey, you think about it this way: if this was Rey Mysterio Jr. on commentary, we would not even be having the discussion of the mask.
Exactly.
Everybody knows who Rey Mysterio is.
Yeah.
Apparently, this Excalibur guy is actually somebody that you should know.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a commentator or a wrestler at one time in PWG that turned into a commentator.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the story. I don't know for sure.
So that's something they need to make clear. But you're going to notice this as a running commentary today is the fact that AEW needs to make shit clear.
They didn't explain anything.
No, they really didn't. They didn't announce anybody. You got to remember, like
for me in a battle royal, I like the separate entrances because you get the chance to be invested in the character. Like with Sonny Kiss, they didn't explain why he is the way he is.
No, they explained nothing about anybody. And I mean, granted, some of the characters they didn't need explaining. I mean, and then of course you did have your parade of veterans, which Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, I mean, but of course everyone knew
Billy Gunn. Glacier. They don't need an introduction. Everybody already knows who they are.
Yeah.
And I mean, basically, even though they might have, like, I think his name was Major Billy Gunn, and of course, Tommy Dreamer was Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer is just Tommy Dreamer.
Who they were. Everybody knew who they were.
And if you're a hardcore wrestling fan, you know certain ones that were in it.
Yeah. Then you got, like I said, I cannot remember the poor no-legged guy's name. So from the rest of the broadcast, we're going to call him Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
Because
MJF goes over and starts stomping the guy with no legs. It says Lieutenant Dan.
I'm sorry.
That was the best ad-lib line I've ever heard.
Well, see,
they had to have that.
He got heat instantly.
Dude,
because there's 5 other guys in the ring.
And he stole that battle royal until Paige came in. Until Paige came in at House of Fire.
He stole the show. Anytime he was on the screen, he was the focus.
Yeah,
that's what.
In every scene, he was there. In some factor. Yeah.
Even with Bret Hart in the ring.
Dude, that line that he dropped on Bret, you could see Bret laughing.
Yeah, that was when he was like, "Oh, go! Oh no, Bret, look out, a fan!"
Like you could see Bret like chuckle a little bit. I'm like, can you get the camera off Bret while he's laughing?
Yeah, this guy really he turned it up. Like I said, it was a perfect thing. You have the perfect opportunity because like I was talking to somebody else about this. And when I was talking about this guy, the no-legged guy made no sense being in this battle royal.
He really did.
The first thing he does is he's an inspiration.
I get that.
And it's like...
Okay, but here's the thing. If this is taken as a professional thing, like, the owner of it owns a basketball team, football team, whatever.
No, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. Okay, would you let him... being a basketball
Is he going to be? Well, no, it's basically. I'm not even going with that. I'm looking. I'm just asking. This is going to be the guy that's going to be the face of your company. It's going to run your title. It's going to be the guy that you follow behind.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you didn't know, the winner of this battle royal would face the winner of the main event later that night for the very first AEW championship.
And then you got to look at one other thing, and I'm sorry to say this, but I'm going to come right out and say it. What was that guy's name? Sonny Sky.
Sonny Kiss.
No, there was the guy with the white, yellow face.
I forgot.
There was a Sonny. I thought it was Sonny Sky. Honestly,
Sonny something.
I just watched this.
Sunny Side Up. I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll call him the Walmart guy.
This guy was like
the Walmart guy.
This guy's like 6 foot. What? 6'4", 6'5", and probably 350 pounds
at least. And I think he did.
How is he going to throw him over the top rope?
I think he did DDP yoga, and that's how he got. That's how he got the gig here.
And then what was the other guy's name? The Ace.
Ace who?
I can't remember.
Ace Romero.
Ace Romero.
That dude. Damn.
What? He's got to be pushing 400.
Yeah, but that pounce he did.
Yeah. Okay, that brings me to another one.
Marco Stunt,
Yes.
the kid that broke his leg.
I'm not.
He
even
literally
going with the kid.
broke his leg.
Oh, I know. I heard about that. I seen the video.
Yeah, like he literally broke his leg, and they let him come back. I mean, he looks like he's what?
He looks like he's about 8.5.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's probably what, about 5'3", maybe
At
100
least
pounds.
Rey Mysterio's taller than he is.
Yeah,
and that's saying a lot.
If this kid would cut his hair, he'd probably weigh 80 pounds.
Oh, definitely. And
Because-
and then after he does a spot, he does the floss. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That puts this whole battle royal in a nutshell. Like I said, you got to look at it as.
But here's the thing, and then you have that Cutler guy, the one that the Young Bucks hired off of BTE.
Well, see, I kind of liked him because they've actually set it up for a decent feud between him and
MJF. Yeah, like because MJF goes over and stomps
the crap out of him, and then he leans over right in his face and says, "You're just here as a favor to the Young Bucks."
That was great.
That's like, damn.
It's like, why are you there then, MJF? You're a favor to Cody.
But the difference is he actually looks like an athlete.
He really does. Like
he has got one of the best promos in the game right now.
Oh, definitely.
And I think, what's he, 23, 24?
He's 23, and to have that ability that he does is amazing.
You think of this guy at 30.
Yeah, but he's 23, dude. He's
I'm
been in the
saying,
business for maybe 3 or 4 years, and he's already leaps and bounds ahead of half of that roster.
I would say over half. I'd put it more like 90%.
You know, and like half that roster's probably been doing it for like 30 some odd years.
You know,
I mean, come on, Jimmy Havoc. Really? I mean, he's a deathmatch guy.
So is him and Joey Janela.
That's his niche. That's what he does.
Well, it's because he's what, maybe 6 feet tall and 80 pounds.
That. I mean, but according to Jim Cornette, I watched the recent MLW. He's so pale that because he lost all that blood. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, you know. Well, I mean,
he's a vampire.
Exactly
He's a vampire.
That's exactly what it looked like. And I mean, and honestly, if they're looking at possibly doing a hardcore division or having hardcore involved in it, he fits.
I mean, but
he could fit in well
and that
with
bump that Janela took through the table. By the way, there was no chairs, no monitors, no microphones. It wasn't even timekeeper's table.
No,
it was just there.
I think. Okay, this was another problem with it, but this is something that I think they will improve later on. Just simple. They had no clue what they were filming and when they were filming it.
Well, you gotta
too much stuff.
have to think. This is their first.
This is their first show. I think it will get better.
Yeah, hopefully. Because if it doesn't, because I mean they're going on TNT on October 1st.
Yeah, that's getting close, and they've got to do something. But that's what I think
October 1st, sometime in October this year, they're going to TNT.
I think Havoc set that up.
I think so too, but the camera didn't catch it.
But it didn't catch it. It didn't catch the.
It didn't catch a cigarette either.
Lit cigarette. Until after the fact.
Yeah, like Joey Janela lit a cigarette in a battle royal, and then Jimmy Havoc proceeded to take that cigarette and staple it to his head. And a lot of it was on Janela too, because he wasn't facing hard cam side.
Yeah, that's another thing. But that also comes with the fact that he's
an independent guy.
Yeah, he's an indie guy. Yeah.
Like, you're not used to cameras on the independent.
He probably, honest to God, he probably looked over. He probably saw a cameraman and thought, "Okay, that's the camera."
Exactly. That's probably exactly what it was.
You got to give him. At
least MJF has somewhat of a national exposure with MLW. I mean, because they're on YouTube. Everyone knows MLW. Yeah. If you don't know MLW, something wrong with you.
I can't wait to see more of that guy.
Definitely. That's it. Definitely. That dude is going to be a future champion down the line.
Yeah.
Like down the line, give him a little bit of time to get acclimated. He's going to be the next heir apparent to the AEW title.
Yeah, and he already started running a good beginner feud with Adam Page.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And that during the Bret Hart thing.
Yeah,
which
And when Adam Page came in, House of Fire, Yeah. And then you had the Sloth character. Let's talk about that guy.
I'm not sure we got enough time.
Basically, they even allude to it on commentary. He's the 22nd man in a 21 battle royal.
Yeah, 21-man battle royal. He is the 22nd man.
And he's doing these light kicks to Tommy, and I was I was hoping Tommy wasn't going to sell, and he didn't. Thank God.
If Tommy Dreamer had sold those kicks, I'd have turned it off immediately.
Like,
I would have watched it after that.
And then he decks him in the face and eliminates him. After he hits him, he does a limp up in his pocket with his hands in his pocket, which is a cool spot if you think about it. I mean, that's talent.
That wasn't bad.
That's talent.
But still, again, when you're looking at this is a company that's supposed to be taken seriously. You got to wonder.
But you got to have some comedy in a battle royal. You and I talked about that at length.
I do think that it fit okay there, but at the same time, I know more about that jackass than I know about 80% of the people.
Do you know about Sonny Kiss and
he was there strictly as a one-off comedy spot.
Oh, definitely. So that's the only reason why he was even there.
They devoted that much time to this goof off character.
But
that is
you have to wonder though, is he actually under contract to AEW?
If they do, I would be done with that company.
You know, and like you said before we went live on the air, that you're basically the fan that AEW needs because you haven't watched anything that has to do with wrestling in how long?
I've totally not probably 2-3 years.
Exactly.
I quit watching it.
Exactly.
I got fed up.
So you're the fan that
product.
AEW needs because they keep this notation going of bringing former fans back to professional wrestling.
And as
good as All In was, and there was some botch spots. I'm not gonna lie, the whole dicks and all that stuff.
Yeah, no.
Like you don't mock Undertaker's entrance, but yeah.
And especially not if you're Joey freaking Ryan. That guy is a waste of breath.
Oh, definitely. But as good as All In was, Double or Nothing was, I want to it's hard to put it into words. I want to say it was a good start. Some of it was a good start, except for the buy-in. Take the buy-in out of it.
Okay, well, since let's go into the actual pay-per-view. Okay. Again, it kept on running with the same principle or the same problems, rather, that I've seen it at starting in the buy-in. First off, they're trying to separate themselves and make themselves different from the WWE, and that works out great because that's exactly what you need. I've said it over and over and over and over again. You are not going to beat Vince McMahon at Vince McMahon's game.
You have to be different.
You've got to be different. Look at TNA
in
2000.
Look at what ECW did that was so effective.
Everything was different.
I mean, people crap all over ECW because I think it's over the top hardcore. But you got to look at it. You had Eddie, you had Mysterio, you had Psychosis, you had Conan, you had all these guys that could work.
Jericho,
Benoit. Yeah, I said Benoit on a wrestling podcast. Sue me, Vince.
All those guys were in there at one time or another, and they had great matches. And a lot of people forget the fact that the actual Stone Cold character
Mick Foley
started.
Mick Foley got the anti-hardcore promos were awesome.
Yeah, and like I said,
we're getting off focus here. Go back to Double or Nothing.
So, first thing to do is, or something I've got to bring up is the tag matches.
God.
So they start up with this thing going, listen, this is going to be different. Everybody's going to get a 10 count at the referee's discretion to get out of the ring after a tag. This led to the SCU versus
Strong Hearts. I actually watched this match back last night, and yeah, I was paying attention to it a lot more because when I first watched it, I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I watched it back last night, and I'm like, whoa, this is like an hour and a half, like 3-on-1 here on Daniels. Exactly. But Daniels was the one that got most of the heat.
And that makes and that also brings me back to another question.
But the reason
why all the damn Freddie Mercury stuff on that show?
I don't know.
Because he even started singing.
Are they like big fans?
I guess he is. He even started singing Mr. Fahrenheit.
I guess they're big fans.
And granted, I like Freddie Mercury too. Queen was great, and I guess it's also trying to pop off this movie
that just came out. Yeah,
Bohemian Rhapsody came out last year, but
But there was like an hour and like at least an hour 15-minute triple team on Daniels.
It was way too damn. Well, that's also one of the things. The pay-per-view was way too damn long.
And at $50,
we're talking almost 4. If you put in the buy-in, you're talking 5 hours.
Oh, definitely. And people complain about WrestleMania going 7.
Yeah. This was hardly WrestleMania.
This was their version of WrestleMania.
So now you go through this whole, this, and it's a continuing thing. The next one, what was it? Well, maybe it was the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers.
That was the next tag match, yes.
Well, no, they had the three.
The Joshi one. That was a good one. I didn't know who half those people were except for Aja.
Aja Kong, yeah. And that was another. Well, actually, that was one we should have touched on. But we're running a little short here. But
yeah, we didn't touch on
goof up with Awesome Kong.
Yeah, like that could have been money.
And I still think they've got that kind of set up.
They
got the rivalry going because basically they took each other out.
Yeah, but that could have been money, though, to have Nyla and Kong go head up at All Out. That would have been money.
That would have been bigger.
And honestly, I think they're probably going to lead to that.
I still think they would.
With the way that they took each other out of the match.
Exactly. But now we're going to like I said, we're still on the tag match thing. I actually timed one double team, went 1 minute and 15 seconds. Legitimately.
Was that during the Strong Hearts match, or was that during the Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks?
Lucha Brothers Young Bucks.
Okay.
And another one went 54 seconds.
And that was still the same match.
Still the same match. So you're already looking at over 2 minutes of that match being a double team. And this is when I just finally decided, okay, hold on, I'm going to count this. I'm going to actually watch and see, because I mean I get it. Okay, you got the 10 count. You've got to enforce it.
But and they kept changing the emphasis. They said, by referee discretion, they can do a 10 count.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're building up this 10 count ruling. Don't do it like that. Make it something.
Yeah, make the ref at a 10 count start throwing people out of the ring. If they don't get out of the ring, throw them out of the match. You know.
Like if you're gonna differentiate yourself from WWE in that way, because WWE is a typical 5 count.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. They're trying to be different. I get it. At the same time, though, you're pushing this 10 count rule, and you're not really doing the 10 count rule. It makes no sense to me. It literally makes me want to go over and just flip it off, because there's no rhyme or reason anymore.
No, it's good. It's gone too far. Like I said, they need to reel that back in. Again, like you were talking about the 6-woman tag match or
the Joshi match.
Joshi match. Okay, that was fine. They have a dual champion, and they talked about what an honor it was to have these people.
And
here.
Here's the thing.
And here's a dual champion.
Here's another thing with
what was she a dual champion of? They never bothered to mention. She never.
Exactly. And here's the thing with whenever it comes to that situation, you had the AAA titles being defended on an AEW show. Why wasn't that match like a tournament match to crown the new AEW Tag Team Champions?
Exactly. Should have
like
done
if I was booking, I would have a 4-team mini tournament, and I would have the final be the Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers in the rubber match, because the Lucha Brothers have already beaten the Young Bucks in Mexico by the time this comes out for the AAA tag titles. So I would have it be a rubber match between the Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers for the AEW tag titles.
And it also would have worked out good, is they could have been like, oh, hey, you came into our house and beat us for our titles. We're coming into your house to beat you for yours.
Exactly my point.
Then you get, let's go straight to the high point.
Oh, yeah, Dustin and Cody. The package alone for that sold me.
Yeah, that match was incredible.
Definitely.
It was awesome. It was an old school.
It went back to 1985.
Yeah, it was everything that a wrestling match was supposed to be.
Yeah.
It was great.
And if you haven't had a chance to watch it, just YouTube that match alone, and you'll understand why we're raising it so high.
And you do have to give a slight guidance warning here. If you are squeamish about blood, you probably shouldn't watch this, because Dustin bleeds more than I've seen any person bleed in a long time.
I think honestly he hit an artery he had to have, or he took a lot of aspirin before that match.
Yeah, because it was running out of him. It was like full face mask.
And what about the intro for Cody? Was that like a little nod towards Triple H?
No, it wasn't little. He beats a...
He takes a sledgehammer to a throne. That's not saying anything.
No. See, that's what you're missing. It's not just a throne. It was a throne with the Iron Cross on it.
Yeah.
Triple H's symbol.
Yeah, that's not saying anything. That's not saying shots fired.
As this light comes on this throne that he's about to take a sledgehammer to and destroy, it says there's more than one royal family in wrestling.
Yeah. I didn't catch that, did it?
Yeah.
I didn't catch that part.
That's the
intro. Oh, yeah. But, like, he takes the sledgehammer to it, and I'm like, okay, yep, shots fired here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a clear shot fired. He was going to Triple H full blast on that one.
Yeah.
And it was something actually to see. I do have to say I kind of liked that.
Oh, definitely.
Although I gotta give it. I gotta say, sometimes if you're going to poke the bear, you better make damn sure you're ready for the attack.
Oh, definitely.
And
but here's the
let's face
thing.
it, this is the first event of a fledgling company with stars that most people have never heard of.
And, he's making a shot like that.
At the biggest dog in the yard.
The biggest company in American professional wrestling. I mean, let's just bottom line it.
Yeah.
With WCW and ECW going under, WWE was it. That was it. That was the only game in town for the longest time if you want to make money.
Yeah.
Then you had
Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor has never even been in their league. TNA came close.
I wouldn't say that. Ring of Honor, I mean, come on. They did it. They did an MSG show.
So what?
On WrestleMania weekend. Who would have ever thought Ring of
was,
Honor would have made it to MSG?
That was a good thing for them to do, but the simple fact of it is, look at the production value. It's always been lower.
It's an independent. What do you expect?
Right there, you hit it. One is a professional, and one's an independent.
Exactly.
And so there's no real comparison. I'm talking an overall.
I'm talking talent-wise, there's a big comparison.
Well, no, talent-wise, they got Jay Lethal.
And them boys, the Briscoes.
And
from Sandy Fork, Delaware.
Yeah, them
you got
Briscoe
chicken.
brothers were.
You got the chicken killer over there, I'm just saying.
I
wonder how he got that name. That's something to investigate.
No, see, as I think you pointed out earlier, I'm from Canada and or lived in Canada recently. Sometimes you don't want to look into what people are doing to chicken, especially now when they're dumb enough to put it on Facebook.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, and got an entire chicken company shut down.
Yeah.
Let's just say words we can't use in descriptions here.
Because no profanity rule.
Yeah, the no profanity rule. Yeah, this guy put himself up on Facebook, and him and his friends doing very bad things to chickens.
That's okay. Let's just segue from that
He was a chicken clucker.
Okay. to the main event of the evening.
Yeah.
We segue from chickens to Jericho and Omega 2.
Well, actually, not a bad because you think about it, they're Kenny Omega.
Don't.
He's a chicken clucker.
You know he's going to hear this, right?
I hope he does. I don't care. I'm sorry. I do not like Kenny Omega.
Okay. Hatred being thrown here, y'all. Joe hates Kenny Omega.
No, I don't hate Kenny Omega. I just don't like Kenny Omega.
Message him on Facebook and give him all the hate you want, okay?
Yes. I don't like Omega. I don't like his character. I don't like the way he acts. I don't like the way he talks. Especially
Omega?
with the fact that he looks like he's on steroids until he starts talking. And then, actually, that probably the steroids. His balls fell off. That's why he's like, okay, now here we go. And I'm going to put a little finger gun in the air and it's like.
That's great. We should do that from now.
You like the
That should be our thing. Our little pyro.
That's it. That's what I see with Omega, and it's just I can't. I can't go any further with it.
I get it, but okay. I saw Omega Jericho 1 in Japan, not live. I watched it.
Yeah,
of course. I'm not flying 14 hours, but that was a good match.
Okay, he doesn't. But he's kind of like Ziggler with me. Ziggler can do good matches
if he's with the right people.
The problem is with Omega. Now that I have seen a few more Omega matches. So originally, what I watched was the Okada.
Yeah.
The Hour Wrestle Kingdom.
It wasn't an hour. Was it an hour?
Yeah, the first one was an hour.
Or was it Dominion where they went an hour and then went time limit draw?
Dominion, I thought they might have done another, but I know the original was Wrestle Kingdom 7?
11.
Or 11. Okay.
11.
Yeah, they went an hour. I know that one. It was a good match.
Yeah.
I won't take anything away from him for that.
Oh, definitely.
And he does have.
Come on. According to Big Dave Meltzer, it got 5 stars.
Yeah.
Well, 6.
Yeah, he does his.
I think he likes Omega's.
Yeah, I think
shape. He's like, oh my god, Omega.
But with me,
while he's fanboying so hard.
Especially with Jericho, the way Jericho is now.
Jericho, is the guy.
Yeah, this step up right now, the stuff that Jericho is doing is amazing. And then you have Kenny Omega.
I mean, you got to admit, the one in Japan was a lot better than what we got at Double or Nothing. Because they had,
for one thing, I think they could have went half the damn time.
They had a lot more leeway to get away with a lot more stuff in Japan. Because in Japan, they don't give a shit. Yeah. So you have that. Here, you have intentional color, because somehow in the match, Kenny breaks his nose. Not sure how that happened.
I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw that. It looked like Jericho did catching.
Was it a foot or was it a fist?
It looked like a forearm kind of hit. Okay. Yeah.
And then, you have Jericho going over, and then he's doing his spiel about how he wants...
He demands a thank you because
of AEW success. And then all of a sudden, through the crowd, boom, you have the debuting Jon Moxley.
Yeah, or if anyone who doesn't know, and why would you? I don't even know why I'm saying this, because if you would not be listening to a wrestling podcast if you have no clue. But anyway, it was Dean Ambrose from WWE, now using his original name, Jon Moxley.
Yeah,
of his original names.
Whenever he was in Combat Zone, he did Jon Moxley.
And when he was running around Ohio. I used to watch him back when he was running around in Ohio.
Well, that's where Combat Zone was mostly running through was Ohio.
Yeah, but that was back at his
That's back before the commission in Kentucky did their bullcrap where you can't bleed here.
Well, that was because of
Ian Rotten. Yeah. Thank you, Ian, for making wrestling suck in Kentucky. You're a friend of the podcast. Love you. Not really.
No. No, he's another one that can. Well. And there we go, censoring myself again.
Okay, Ian just needs to stop. Yeah. I mean, come on, dude. He goes to the commission. Everyone knows the story if you know anything about Kentucky wrestling. He goes to the commission, according to what Jim Cornette said, and literally in front of the commission in Frankfort, Kentucky, by the way, juices himself. Why? What's the point?
He's a dumbass.
And basically, now you're stuck running shows up in Indiana.
Yeah.
Where there's no commission, and they have like 75 companies running out of one building.
That'd actually be funny.
No, we got it this week. No, we got it this week. No, we got it this week.
So now he does interfere. Well, like I said, I thought the Omega, and I don't like Omega, but I thought the match was decent. I thought the match could have went half the time and still been as good.
Oh, definitely. And then the ending of it was amazing.
This is what got me. The ending setup was great. What got me was you've got Omega, which this is a big thing with me too. I mean, I've heard Cornette talk about it. I've heard a couple other people. This is big with me too. If you're going to be pretending to be you're knocked out, and your opponent starts cutting a promo in the ring, either they need to have like medical service come and take you out of the ring, or you need to get up and start beating the crap out of the person.
Well, see, here's the thing.
So here's the thing.
Kenny, you could see it. He was moving around.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be knocked out.
Yeah, he was pretending to be the dazed, and that worked.
And it goes back to what you saw at a live event. So, when the camera goes off and Randy goes, is it off? Is it off? Yeah. Okay, and then gets up and walks away.
So, now we've got all this happening. Moxley comes out. Moxley rolls in the ring, and just like that, he takes out Jericho.
Oh, definitely.
Then this Omega, who was rolling around in the ring like a dead fish flopping, all of a sudden pops up to his feet and starts beating the crap out of him. It's like, no.
And then they go...
You were unconscious. You need to stay unconscious. Have the guy that won, who was barely,
And then they go into the spot.
Yeah,
on top of the chips.
Yeah. Which now this is actually, I guess I kind of figured that out now. I was just about to bash the announcers again, but then it dawned on me why they probably did it.
What?
They kept on going, oh, DDT, DDT. It's like, it's not a DDT, it's a Dirty Deeds.
Yeah, but they can't call it Dirty Deeds.
They can't call it Dirty Deeds, so they probably do not have a name for it yet.
Well, he does it now in Japan, and it's called the Death Dealer or something like that.
See, that works, but I'm saying...
Because now it's more of an implant version.
Yeah.
Because he did that to Juice Robinson to win the IWGP US title, and this just in news, he's being pulled from the G1 by AEW.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. They're going to want their bigger names.
But here's the thing: if they're going to pull Jon Moxley from the G1, does that mean that New Japan is going to pull their guys from going to AEW?
Probably at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, but is there anyone on their roster from NJPW?
I have no clue because I don't know who's on the.
I don't know who's even on the roster at this
Yeah,
point.
I don't even think they know who's on the roster at this point.
I mean, because come on, you had the buy-in battle royal. There was like, I mean, come on.
Well,
Please tell me that the dude with no legs does not have a contract.
Yeah,
if he has
I
a
don't
contract,
think-
I'm done with wrestling.
I don't think he's going to have a contract. I don't think Jungle Boy has a contract. I don't think
Jungle Boy should, because he's a good talent. Just drop the Jungle Boy gimmick.
Yeah.
He's not Tarzan.
Then you got a lot of guys.
Sadly
to say, like MJF is one of them. Flying Brian Jr. is
But
one
they
of them.
but they also
are
work
working on MLW
on MLW
as well. So the
Yeah.
question is, are they under contract or are they not? Even though MJF continuously put himself into the title picture, and like I said earlier, when he did, he was the focus.
People got hyped about it. Oh, and news on MLW, by the way. The Von Erich boys, Ross and Marshall, will be making their New York debut for the upcoming show in New York. I'm not sure what it's called yet. But it's actually 66 years to the date that Fritz Von Erich made his debut in New York.
Oh, that's awesome. So, well, I guess with that, we better end it here since we're also probably about out of time for the recording studio.
Well, this has been Two Guys and a Wrestling Podcast.
And hopefully this works.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, hopefully this works. So,
Hopefully people like it.
no, I was meaning me being able to figure out how to turn this thing off.
Just hit stop.